In the fast-paced world of Silicon Valley and global tech, we are all about disruption and hustle. But 2,500 years ago, a legendary strategist, Sun Tzu, wrote a treatise that suggests our obsession with fighting is actually our greatest weakness. Because for Sun Tzu, to defeat the enemy without fighting is the highest skill. I've revisited The Art of War in Thomas Cleary's translation. If you've read older versions and found them vague, Cleary's version is the gold standard. He weaves historical commentary into metaphorical writing and turns the ancient maxims into a masterclass for modern leaders, strategists, and executives. Sun Tzu is the philosophical father of the idea that competition is devastating. Hello, Peter Thiel, busted! The Chinese philosopher argues that any conflict, even for the winner, is a drain on resources and weakens all parties involved. To counter this, he suggests a strategy of invisibility. A good merchant hides his treasures and appears to have nothing. For a business leader, this means your strategy should be incomprehensible, totally unpredictable. Because in business, as in a war, if your movements are obvious, you're vulnerable. However, if your strategy is formless like water, you can adapt to any terrain. You don't hit the enemy where they are strong, that is, full. You hit where they are weak, meaning empty. This is the art of emptiness and fullness, the key concept of strategizing. Sun Tzu outlines 5 strategic factors that determine the success of any organization. Think of this as your executive checklist. The Tao, the way. Does your team have cohesion? Is every employee from the intern to the VP aligned with the mission? That unity is your fullness. Weather and terrain. These are your external market conditions. The terrain isn't just physical, it's the social and psychological landscape of your industry, culture, and markets. Leadership and discipline. Sun Tzu warns that a leader must be dispassionate. Anger and ego are the enemies of strategy. For a founder or an executive, this means never make a pivot out of frustration. Never launch a marketing war or hostile acquisition out of ego. Decisions must be made with intelligent as anticipatory knowledge. Throughout my entire career, I've placed team morale at the center of my leadership. That's why Sun Tzu's focus on the internal state of an organization struck such a chord with me. It frames the company not just as a structure, but as a living psychological entity. Tall walls and deep moats, or high capital and strong patents, don't guarantee security. True strength comes from justice of the leadership, and order is an opposite of chaos. When an organization is transparent and fair to its employees and customers, it creates a state of fullness, so that even a smart enemy cannot find a weak link to hit. Yeah! Sun Tzu also dives into the leader's psychology. A leader must know how to manipulate the energy of himself or the others, knowing when to act, and more importantly, when not to act. Sometimes the most strategic move is to appear incapable when you're capable, or inactive when you're active. You wait for the moment when the market is weak and your energy is full. However, Sun Tzu reminds us that the goal is to win in a human way, not to rule over a ruling. The book, The Art of War, begins with discussing leadership and ends with the use of spies, or in modern business terms, market intelligence. It teaches us that the best warrior only starts the fight when they already know they have won. So this teaching goes way beyond military tactics. Cleary's brilliant work can be used to apply said teachings to business, psychology, politics, and daily life management. This book should be required reading for every executive and startup founder. It will help you turn chaos into order and danger into security. Stop fighting to win